Okay, guys, so let's have a look at our homework. So homework from yesterday was all about silent letters. Have a look. So we have 9 words at the top here. They are ring, wrapped, kneel, wrists, knot, wrinkles, night, wrong, knee. And we had to put these words into the correct spot. So let's have a look. Number 1. What do you think number 1 should say? Minghuai.
To keep a gift a secret, keep it wrapped and out of sight.
Awesome, well done. To keep a gift a secret, keep it wrapped and out of sight. Good job. Number 2, what do you think for that one, Caroline?
I think it's to fight with a pink sky dragon.
Pesky.
Pesky dragon called a strong and fearless knight.
Good girl. Well done, Caroline. Oops. Night. Lovely. Number 3, can you read that one for me, please? Hacker.
If a stone is long enough, it will get to make a knock.
Knot. So not a knock, but a knot. Good job. Let's just add that in. Knot. K-N-O-T, knot. Okay, next, number 4. Emma, can you do that one for me?
To get the answer right, not wrong. Remember what you're taught.
Good girl, well done. Next, number 5. What do you think? Okay, Tweety, go ahead.
To make a wet sponge dry, you need to
Wring it out. Good girl. Well done, Tweety. Okay, number 6. Can you do that one for me, please? Mickey.
Hold it tightly with both hands and twist your
Wrists. Good job. Twist your wrists about. Okay, Mickey, it sounds a little bit loud where you are. So if possible, if you're on a phone or a tablet or a laptop, maybe you can try and go somewhere quieter for you to learn. That'll be better for you. Okay, number 7. No, Lekang, can you do this one for me, please?
wear knee pad when you skating to keep from getting hurt.
Good job. Well done, Lekang. Number 8. Do that one for me, please, Hannah.
To look your best, make sure there are no wrinkles in your shirt.
Good job. Jenny, do number 9 for me, please. Number 9 and the last sentence.
If you kneel in an anthill, stand up as quickly as you can. If you forget these handy tips, just read them all again.
Good job. Well done, Jenny. So here we have a little poem that we have made. As you can see, all of the last words, they rhyme. Sight, night, not, taught, out, about, hurt, shirt, can, and again, kind of rhyme. Okay, moving on to our next homework. So same concept. We had to put these words, no, through, knickknacks, wrong, knees, wrap, wrote, through, and not. So this story is called Granny and the Rascal. Granny Gopher says, what, Cindy?
Who knocked over my beautiful face?
Who knocked over my beautiful vase? Good job. And the next sentence should say, what, Quang Hai?
The next question is, why are you so upset about a silly old vase? You have plenty of other roads sitting around.
Wrote, not quite. So wrote is a verb and it's the past tense of write. Not quite. So this word is probably a word that everyone Googled because it probably was a word that no one had seen before. Susie, what do you think?
I think it's the word knickknacks.
Good girl. Well done, Susie. It is the word knickknacks. Lovely. And we'll talk about knickknacks after we've read this whole story. Okay, Granny Gopher. That vase was special. Great Granny Gopher gave it to me. Now, is there something you'd like to confess? Then Rascal Raccoon says, what, Caroline?
I know that you think I broke that vase
but I never went there.
Good girl, Caroline. Well done. And the next sentence should say what kiwi?
That's what you said after you threw a baseball through my window.
Good job. Threw a baseball through my window. Make sure you have the correct through there. This is the past tense of the verb throw. This is a preposition of place. Through my window. Rascal Raccoon said, what next? Ocean.
You were wrong about that.
Yep, good job. You were wrong about that too. Lovely. Okay, next, Steve. Can you go ahead and do that for me?
Wrote. Skunk and Rabbit wrote me a note saying they saw you break the window.
Good. Then Rascal Raccoon says, you can't trust what those tattletales say. Then Granny Gopher says, what? So the answer for this one is old knees. I can't get down. It's difficult for me to get down on my sore old knees to do a job like this. And Rascal Raccoon says, sure, Granny Gopher. I have to what? Susie, go ahead and answer that one.
I have to wrap a present for Rabbit's birthday party right now, but I will stop by and help you later, I promise.
Good girl. Thanks very much, Susie. That's wonderful. So, guys, we did say that we would talk about the word knickknacks from homework. So, knickknacks are basically just little things that are around your house. Things like little clocks, things like little pots, things like little vases, things like little fancy shaped jugs, things like teapots, things like little glass animals for decorations. So knickknacks is just another way to say things. She has lots of knickknacks in her house. She has lots of things in her house. Okay, so our first vocabulary word of the day today is harvest. Can everyone please say harvest?
Harvest.
Well done. The word harvest is a noun, so it is a thing. Have a look at this sentence. When there is a lot of corn to pick, it makes a good harvest. What do you think the word harvest means? Teddy.
I think the word harvest means to pick up crops and when they are ready to eat or sell them.
Very good. Well done, Teddy. Perfect answer. A harvest is when you go to collect your crops that are ready for you to pick and sell them on to other shops. Have a look. A harvest is the crop that is gathered during one growing season. What are Pushing and friends? What kind of harvest are they gathering? Sal.
Apple.
An apple harvest. Good job. Okay, guys, so be careful because the word harvest can be a verb and a noun. So you could say the farmer is harvesting his crops, which means he is going around and collecting them all. But we are learning it as a noun today. So a harvest is a thing, not a verb. So I don't want to see any sentences that say the farmer is harvesting. I want to see sentences like the farmer gathered an apple harvest. Okay, now let's have a look. Read the list of foods below. Decide whether each food would have a harvest. Then we're going to discuss our answers. So I'm going to say the word or the food, and you shout out yes if it would have a harvest or no if it wouldn't have a harvest. Grapes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Pudding.
No.
No. Lettuce.
No.
Yes. Oh, some people are saying no, but that is a yes. Oranges. Yes, definitely. Okay, over here. Wheat.
Yes.
Yes. Peanuts.
Yes.
Yes. Bread.
No.
No. Pizza.
No.
No. Okay, good job, guys. Well done. Okay, let's have a look at our answers. So food, or the different types of food that do have a harvest, are grapes, lettuce, oranges, wheat, and peanuts. Can someone explain to me why these foods have a harvest and why pudding, bread, and pizza won't have harvests? Okay, great. Lekang, what do you think?
I think grape, lettuce, orange, wheat, and peanut have a harvest because that can grow, but pudding, bread, and pizza can't grow. They need to make it.
Good girl. Great answer, Lekang. Grapes, lettuce, oranges, wheat, and peanuts grow. They grow in the soil. They come from the ground. We plant seeds and they grow into bushes and trees and plants, and then we take what we need from them. Pudding, bread, and pizza do not grow from the ground. Instead, we need to grow things like wheat to then put in to make bread, pizza, and pudding. Good job. Okay, help me make a sentence with the word harvest. I'll go first. Last year, the farmer gathered a plentiful apple harvest. Hacker.
In a farm, they harvest wheat.
Good job. Now be careful. So you used harvest there as a verb. I'm trying to get us to use harvest as a noun. So you could say, in the farm, there was a beautiful wheat harvest. Okay, good job, Hacker. Let's have 2 more sentences. I would like, okay, Kwang Ming.
The farmer harvests to get food to eat.
Good job. Now be careful again. So you use the word harvest as a verb there. The farmer harvests food to eat. So guys, be really careful. As I just mentioned, this word that we're learning is a noun. Okay, so we're learning it as a noun. The word harvest is also a verb, but we're learning it as a noun. Therefore, we have to use it as a noun. So we could say, there is a lot of corn to pick, and when there is a lot of corn to pick, it makes a good harvest. So here we have a picture of a man collecting all of the corn because he's had such a good and plentiful harvest. So please be very careful. Think about the part of speech. Let's try one more. Can you give me a sentence, please? Suri.
The farmer is collecting harvest.
Okay, good. The farmer is collecting the harvest. Good job. Okay, moving on to our next word. So have a look here, guys. We're not drawing our drawings down in our red notebooks, but this is an idea for what you could draw down tonight when you do your homework. You could draw down a farmer collecting their harvest of tomatoes and carrots. Okay, number 2. This word is separate. Now, can you try it? Separate.
Separate.
Good job. Well done. Separate. Okay, let's have a look. This word is a verb. So this is an action word. It's something that we can do. Separate or divide different kinds of seeds before planting them. What do you think the word separate means? Have a look at the context clues. Have a look at the picture around it to help you understand the meaning of separate. Leo.
You're splitting it.
Good job, Leo. If you are separating things, you are splitting them or dividing them into groups. As you can see here, this person has separated 1, 2, 3, 4 different kinds of seeds. Okay, let's have a look at the definition. Can you read it for me, Tui Chi?
If you separate a group of objects, you divide the objects into smaller groups.
Good. And can you read the question for me, please?
Why do animal shelters separate cats and dogs?
Good. Okay, so when you separate something, like Leo said, you're splitting it or you're dividing it into smaller groups. Now think about that question. Why do animal shelters separate their cats and dogs? Why do you think it's a good idea to separate the cats and dogs? Okay, Mia, what do you think?
Shelters separate cats and dogs so they can know what is cat what a dog and cat will not fight.
Good job. Well done. The main reason they do it is that cats and dogs don't tend to get along very well. So the animal shelters separate them to keep them both safe and away from each other. Okay, guys, so we can separate countries and we can divide or separate the people that live in a country. For example, there are people who live in the urban area, so the city area, like in Hanoi, and there are people who live in Vietnam who live in the rural area, so they live in the beautiful countryside with the fresh air. So we can separate these people into two groups. They have very different lives. People who live in Hanoi compared to people who live in the countryside, say in Mai Chau, they have very different lives. City life is very busy. It's very polluted. It's very dangerous. There's a lot of traffic. Whereas people who live in the countryside, the air is fresher and cleaner. There is less litter and there is less traffic. So it's often a lot safer on the roads. So when we separate two things, we divide them into different groups. Okay, have a look. Make a sentence with the word separate. I've given us a sentence already. Miss Rachel separates the class into boys and girls when we are playing a game on Zoom. Notice that I added S on the end of separate here because my subject, me, is singular. Now, it's your turn. Caroline.
My sentence is separate seed before you plant.
Very good. Well done, Caroline. Great sentence. Good girl. Emma, can you give me a sentence with the word separate, please?
When my baby and my sister fight each other, I separate them.
Lovely. Good girl. So you're the peacekeeper in your home. Good girl, Emma. Well done. Okay, guys. So again, we're not drawing our doodles down online, but when you are drawing your pictures tonight, make sure that you draw two or more groups that are separated. They are divided. They are not together. Okay, have a look. Our third word of the day is ashamed. Listen carefully as I say that. Ashamed. Now you try. Ashamed.
Ashamed.
Great. Good job, guys. Lovely pronunciation. Okay, the word ashamed is an adjective. So this is a word that we use to describe nouns. Can you please read that sentence for me? Let's go for Emma.
Don't feel ashamed or guilty if you forget to water a plant.
Lovely. Mingha, do you want to tell us what this word means?
Ashamed.
Yeah, it definitely does mean that you're feeling sad. So when you feel ashamed, you probably will have this feeling of sadness. If you are ashamed, you feel guilty that you have done something bad or something wrong. Have a look. Can you please read this page for me, Zaling?
Someone who is ashamed feels embarrassed or guilty about something they did. When have you been ashamed of doing something? What did you do?
Okay, so now it's time for story time. Tell me about a time that you felt ashamed. What did you do? So you can say, I felt ashamed when I blah, blah, blah.
I felt ashamed when I dropped my father's phone down to the floor.
Did it break?
No.
Oh, that's okay. As long as it didn't break, I'm sure that's okay. Did you say sorry?
Yes.
Good girl. Well done. Yes, when we accidentally do something wrong, we have this feeling of being ashamed or embarrassed or a little bit worried that we might have done something wrong. Okay, Caroline, can you tell me about a time you felt ashamed?
I felt ashamed when I forgot to give my baby water to drink the milk.
Oh no. Was he crying a lot?
No.
No, oh, well, if he wasn't crying, I'm sure he didn't need his milk too badly. Good job. Well done, Caroline, for getting to feed your little baby brother accidentally. Absolutely. Let's have one more. When have you felt ashamed about something? Quang Ming.
I felt ashamed when I broke my mother's favorite vase.
Oh no. Did you say sorry?
Yes.
How did you break it?
I played football in the house with my brother.
Oh no. Was your mom annoyed at you?
No, my
No?
mom is going working.
Oh, she was at work. But when she came home, was she angry?
Yes.
A little bit, yes, I'm sure she was. I would be so upset if someone was playing football and broke one of my favorite vases. I hope you said sorry and made it all better. Okay, guys, so when you feel ashamed, usually you might drop your head and feel bad and feel sorry and feel guilty about doing something wrong. Have a look. This is my sentence for ashamed. I felt ashamed when I forgot to do my homework and Miss Rachel was disappointed in me. So I'm sure that, or I hope that anytime you have not done your homework, you felt ashamed about it and you felt bad about not doing it. Now, okay, guys, so if you are ashamed about something, you have done something bad, like you have littered or maybe broken something in your house. Okay, next up we have word number 4, borders. Can everyone please say borders?
Borders.
Good job. Well done. Borders. Okay, guys, the word borders is a noun. Borders are things. Have a look. This farm has a fence. So this is what a fence is. This white picket fence is what we use to keep things out or in. This farm has a fence along its borders to keep the animals inside. So where this farm has land, they have made sure to put a fence all around the borders of its land to make sure that the animals stay inside and don't go anywhere else. Have a look. The word borders means, okay, Mia, go ahead and read that for me.
Borders are the dividing lines between two pieces of land. Why do you think borders are important?
Good job. Thanks, Mia. Okay, guys, so borders are the dividing lines between two pieces of land. For example, have a look here. This is a map of Vietnam. Now, as you can see, these red lines that are going around Vietnam and Cambodia and Thailand, they are borders. They divide the land. So, for example, if you cross over this red border here, you're making your way into Laos. You're no longer in Vietnamese territory. You're no longer in your country. If you go all the way down here and cross over the border here, you are now in Cambodia. You're not in Vietnam anymore. This land does not belong to Vietnam. So borders are really important to divide the land so that everyone knows who owns what piece of land, so that someone in Cambodia cannot build a house here in the land and say, this is my land. We have borders in place to make sure that people understand that this is Vietnamese land, this is Cambodian land, this is Thailand, this is Laotian land, and this is Chinese land. We need our borders to make sure we can protect our land. Okay, guys, for homework, I would like you guys to write a vocabulary word. I want you to write that 3 times as always. I'd like you to write the definition, and I'd also like you to write 2 sentences for each word, not just 1 sentence. Okay, goodbye.